now, the Crypt Keeper of Creepy, the provocative prince of the tweens, the nightmare from Neptune. It's Zabujard!
Sorry about that. Two big boys just walked past my car, and they are big boys. They got some meat on their bones. Why would Hashem be angry at Christians? Assuming Christianity, assuming that Jesus isn't God, if you were God, wouldn't you be mad if this guy came and got a third of this realm worshiping him instead of the Lord? Think about that for a second. Because I guess maybe I would. If a third of the world, if I was God and this guy comes along and now they're all worshiping this random guy instead of me who created them and stuff, you know? I'm having like fried butter nut. I'm having like fried, I don't even know what the hell this is, dude. It's something fried. It's like fried, what's a vegetable? It's like fried, whatever that vegetable is that looks like broccoli. I forgot the name of it, but I got it for like $1 from Walmart, dude. It's pretty good. Anything fried is good. I mean, can we all just agree on that? You know I've been making fun of people who are offing themselves because I said if you're depressed and you want to off yourself, you should just go and get some fried chicken and some Mountain Dew and you'll feel better. But I was feeling pretty crummy the other day, even with, I was just feeling kind of crummy the other day, and I was thinking, maybe there is some people out there, I could see their point. I mean, I could see why they would get pretty down on themselves, but you should never off yourself. But people can feel crummy sometimes, and I can see why people would want to jump off a bridge, I guess. And yeah, got to work about an hour ago, and so far it's normal. No issues at the moment. That was all on my mind. That was all that was on my mind. I made some cartoon today. Make sure you watch the new cartoons. I think some of them are pretty good. I had an idea for a cartoon in the shower. I get a lot of good ideas in the shower for cartoons. This one's going to be about a dolphin. This dolphin, it's going to be my next cartoon. Will probably maybe be called Homophobic Dolphin. It's about a bad little boy dolphin, and he gets into some trouble. And it's going to be a silly cartoon about a homophobic dolphin, and I hope you like it. I think you will. Hopefully I can make that soon. And pretty much just bedridden all day today until work. Yeah, and I didn't feel too great. I had constipated diarrhea or something like that. My diet's bad. I don't exercise enough. I don't even know, dude. I don't even know what's going on. But if I get attacked, I'm gonna ask Hashem for help. I'm going to ask Adonai for help. And I'm going to ask one of his highest names for help. And I think I'm going to do that for protection if I get into a fight with hooligans. You know? Adonai means Lord in Hebrew, and people use it instead of his higher names. It's a good name. And, yeah, I just couldn't believe when I was arguing with those Christians at the mall, and they said that God is only in heaven, and I said, well, God's everywhere. And they said, no, God's only in heaven. He's not here because right here is like hell. And it's like, it just made me think, like, why could you even say that to someone? How could you say that God is only in heaven? And that's like if I lived in California and you came up to me and you're like, actually, God only lives in Florida, so he's not even here. So you can't even talk to him right now. You can't even see him. You can't see him. You can't see him anyways because he's invisible. He doesn't have a face of Jesus. He's invisible. Have you ever seen the face of God? No, you haven't. Have you ever heard his voice? No. Maybe, but you probably haven't seen his face because we can't even understand what his face looks like. And people are like, well, it looks like Jesus. That's God's face right there. How could it, whatever. And, you know what I mean? It's just like, no, God lives in Florida, dude. He doesn't even live in California. He doesn't live in every state. Only Florida people can see God. He's only in Florida. He wouldn't come to California because it's hell here. There's too many fags here, you know. It's like, I couldn't believe it. And these were like little missionary boys. There's two boys, and they were doing missionary stuff, talking to me. And I'm like, oh, well, I think I'm like Jewish and stuff. And then they were, but as soon as they said that God isn't everywhere, I was like, come on, man. What are you, smoking weed? Are you smoking a big bag of weed right now? I was thinking in my head, smoking a big bag of cocaine weed? That's just insane to me. And a lot of people here, they don't think about godly stuff. They care about money and crap like that. And I'm sick of paying my taxes to PDF files who go to big islands and drink youngster blood all day. So if I had an option to not pay taxes, I would not. It comes directly out of my gay ass paycheck. If they said, "Hey, do you want to pay taxes on your paycheck?" I'd say, "Hell no." I'm sending money to PDF files. You fucking drink young blood underground and on big islands, and underground under our cities, not just on islands. Because there's big ass cities underneath our cities. That's all you need to know. And that's obvious. And I don't want to pay taxes. Taxes are gay. Really gay. And you know, the roads here look like crap. I mean, not here. I live in like the richest part of California, but other places, you know, they look like crap. The taxes don't go to, they aren't spent well. They're spent on cocaine and hookers for the mayor and his assistants and the politicians. The taxes, they just waste their taxes. It's ridiculous. And they just print as much money as they want. The taxes don't even matter because they just print money anyways. They're going to say, "Oh, we need to send another $1 billion to Israel, but we don't have any money." Oh, use the taxpayer money and print out a bunch of money. So you see how that works. So the taxpayer money was completely irrelevant. They didn't need it because they just printed out a ton and gave it to them anyways. Thus, taxes are only to keep people poor and slaves and fags, and it's bullshit. And I don't like it. It's nonsense. These are evil, wicked scum retards, and it makes me sick to my stomach sharing this realm with them. You know what I mean? And that's just my opinion. And yeah, I had to close my window earlier because when I play games, when I play multiverses, if the opponent taunts me and stuff, I'll just start screaming the N-word. And now all my neighbors are hearing me just scream the N-word as loud as I can. They're probably like, who the heck does this guy think he is? Why am I living next to this amazing cartoonist who screams the N-word all day when he's playing video games, getting sweaty in his room? People are probably thinking that. why did this guy move in next to me? Why is this guy screaming the N-word? Why is he blah, blah, blah? But they need, you know what I mean? But my mom, when she talks to me, her mind isn't on spiritual things. It's on money and stuff. She always asks about work and about money. And if I say, I don't want to work, I want to be an off-grid boy somehow, she'll be like, well, she'll always say, well, what about money? And you guys have to realize God made money. I mean, sorry. Humans made money. Man made money. It even sounds like man. It sounds like Manny. But man made Manny. Man made money. Cash. Bucks. Dollar bills. Cash. Bucks. God didn't make money. And man made work. Or at least he made my job, and my job's kind of ridiculous. I just walk around and don't do anything for 8 hours. It's a nonsense job. You know, it's not like I'm growing healthy food or taking care of animals or anything cool like that. It's just a man-made, useless job. Totally useless job for the most part. I think they're walking back here again. I think those two big boys are going to walk past me again. So I have to be quiet for a second here. But yeah, you know, you're focusing on man-made gay stuff instead of like spiritual stuff, you know? So yeah, I think they're walking back here again. I always lock my car doors now after I got mugged out of my car like 5 or 10 years ago. Just in case. I always keep them locked when I sit in the car, because you never know with these people. Sorry, I think they're gone now. But that being said, it is good that this job gets me out of my room and out of my bed and out of my house twice a week. I just wish that it wasn't like creepy. Give me a job that's not creepy, you know? What by creepy I mean if a homeless drug addict shows up or whatever, or I gotta deal with domestic abuse people in the hotel or something like that. That's creepy. I don't want to deal with creepy, demonically possessed people, I think. Like how about a job? I had this one job I liked that I got fired from where I just folded laundry. And she paid me under the table below minimum wage. She was paying me $10 an hour, and sorry, I was going to call her a B word, but she still fired me. For no reason. I was doing the job fine. I was doing a good job, I think. And, she still fired me. And she was paying me illegal wages under the table. And she was white. It's not like she was some foreign immigrant or something. She knows the law. She knew she was breaking the law. And, anyway, she still fired me. And I was doing a good job. I was folding and doing the laundry. But I was sitting down, and she's like, you can't work sitting down. Everybody who has a wage slave faggot job has to stand up 24/7 and break their fucking toes and their feet all day, and their legs and their assholes. It's so stupid. Normies are so insane. Super insane, ungodly. They still go to church, but they have no idea what they're even doing. You know what I mean? They're goyim, dude. I mean, I use that word. Think about what that word means. It's someone who goes to church and goes on cruises. It's someone who goes to church and doesn't cares about man things, money things, work things, material wealth, the worldly things, instead of like thinking about, I don't know, godly things, like reading God's word or practicing gratefulness or practicing kindness or helping others or charity or whatever you think of with godly things. And a goyim is also someone who fires someone even though they're doing a good job folding their laundry. So that's what pissed me off about it. But, you're not supposed to have grudges. So I gotta not have a grudge toward anyone ever again because it's not good. And you're supposed to forgive everyone because God forgives us. So I gotta forgive that boss, who it sounds like I'm still a little bit grumpy at, if you can't tell, but it's tricky. And, yeah, but I mean, we don't really need all this stuff. We just need like food and water and maybe some toilet paper. There's a specific plant you can use as toilet paper. I forgot the name. If you just Google it, you can just grow it in your front yard and use the leaves as toilet paper. That's what some off-grid people do. We don't need shoes made from a Chinese sweatshop labor where they use youngster blood and youngsters. They put youngster blood in their shoes. Remember those shoes by that rapper who did that song about the horse or whatever? He had blood in his shoes. Tony Hawk. Type in Google Tony Hawk blood shoes. Tony Hawk put youngster blood in his shoes. Now on the news, they're normalizing doctors giving youngster transfusion blood to adults to make them feel younger, and thus making everyone vampires who have enough money for youngster blood. I forgot what I was talking about. My memory's not good. I was talking to my mom, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I want to be a off-grid boy, kind of, because this place is gay, and it doesn't matter. Like the dollar's crashing anyways. Like the peso crashed in 20 years. The U.S. dollar will crash in like 90 years, but we're at the end of that 90 years. It's been going downhill since World War II, or for a while anyway. And what was I going to say? I just think we need to start our own country and our own community. And the fags say they own the land, but they don't. You can't own Earth. You can't own it. Belongs to everyone. Anyone who says we own the land, you have to pay us property taxes, should eat dicks in hell for all of eternity, because you can't just own Earth. God made Earth. These fags didn't make Earth. You can't own it. You can't own this plot of land. And then they do teach that gay song to kids to promote communism and globalism, right? This land is your land. This land is my land. And it's like, okay, all the immigrants can flood in. This is all of our land. But that's not what I mean. Anyways, they've been brainwashing people since they were little kids. And public school was just a Freemason humiliation ritual. I had so many bullies, disgusting, demonically possessed creatures who made my life hellish and hell going through public school. An Asian guy, a Muslim guy, or I don't know, he was Arabic or something. I don't really know what the hell he was. And a white guy, another white guy. Hopefully I've forgiven them by now, but they really made my life hell. I know the Asian guy is a virgin for his entire life, so I feel better about that. Knowing that he's just like a squinty-eyed. Anyways, I sound like I'm getting bitter about it, but it's just really evil people there in public school. Private school, you also have to deal with evil people. At this rate, people should just be homeschooled. The schools are like jungles, to quote Mr. Biden himself, a racial jungle, right? And people say, oh, you need public school. It helps socialize your kid. Why would your kid need to be socialized with like hundreds of other kids when there's a bunch of sharks in the water biting their dick and their balls off, like bullying evil sharks, I saw a video of people getting beat up the other day, and I got mad. I can't even watch violence. I can't stand violence. It makes me want to puke. And I used to get mad watching that stuff, like political videos and stuff. So if I go on Twitter and I see anything about stupid politics, I'll just block it. Anything about violence, just block it. I gotta block a lot of stuff because I just get triggered looking at, like, I can watch horror movies no problem, you know. But real life is scarier than horror movies. Because real life is real. Well, I mean, sometimes it is. On the news, it's all fake. But when you see people getting beat up and stuff, and this was like a nerdy guy. This nerdy guy got beat up by these big old, strong-looking boy. And I felt bad. I felt kind of bad for him. And I just don't like seeing violence. I don't like seeing violent people who look like they're on steroids and shit. Just going around. Because this guy there's a bunch of bullies on YouTube who go around and beat people up and stuff. And it's just really gross and disgusting. And I do hope they burn in hell for eternity for beating up, like, a bunch of soy boy cucks and betas and stuff. It's just so sad to see violence. And always carry a sharp object with you in your pocket. That's all I can say. It starts with the letter K. Always carry one around with you, because you never know who you might run into, I guess. I don't know. Is that good advice? Maybe. Maybe it's good advice. I don't mean to fearmonger. There's already enough fear in this realm. They're pumping fear 24/7 nonstop through the news and other media outlets and stuff. Oh, World War Z with Israel versus Lebanon. World War Z with USA versus Russia. World War Z, World War Z, World War Z. Zombie outbreak, corona outbreak, swine flu outbreak, bird flu outbreak, nigger. Like, constant fear-mongering all the time. Constant fear-mongering, constant hate, constant division, constant evil and wickedness, and that the Satan figure of this realm, Mr. Sam himself, I suppose, he's doing his job. If you're a Christian and you hate Satan or you hate Sam, because I don't even know what Satan is to Christians, that I guess they would say Satan is Lucifer, I guess, or something. But anyway, you know the archetype I'm talking about. Lucifer, Sam, Satan, whatever you want to call him, right? This is what it teaches in Judaism. He's doing his job. You're like, God made him to do a job. He's here doing his job. He's creating a bunch of evil. What we call evil is judgment. He is dishing out rebukement and judgment in this realm. That's his job. That's what he's here for. That's what he's doing. You can't even you're not even supposed to blaspheme aspects of God. You're not supposed to blaspheme him. Isn't there a New Testament verse, though, that says hate the devil or something? Like, hate him? I can't remember. I feel like there might be a verse that says you should hate I cannot remember. I know there's some nice verses in there that say, like, the devil walks around you like a roaring lion, waiting to devour his prey, so you need to stay away from sin because the devil is seeks to devour you, stuff like that. But that's literally his job. It's like if your mailman came up to you and handed you your mail, and you're like, God, I hate this mailman. He makes me sick. And he'd say, well, I'm just doing my job, sir. You can't hate me. God made me. And he made me to do this job, and I'm doing this job, sir. You can't just hate me. People out there say, I hate Satan. I hate demons. I hate, whatever. I mean, maybe those things are different, but I hate demonically possessed people. I hate evil people. I hate blah, 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 blah. There's a saying in Judaism. There's a rabbi, right? And one day he gets rich. This rabbi gets a lot of money and he gets rich. And this rabbi says, God, why do you hate me? Because if you have a lot of money, God is not fond of rich people because of how they use their wealth. They love their wealth more than they love God. They use their wealth. They abuse their wealth. They don't give it to less fortunate. They just waste all of it, right? They're very wasteful. So this rabbi gets rich and he says, God, why do you hate me? In Judaism it says Torah scholars die and live in poverty. If you're living and dying in poverty right now, like I am-ish, then you might as well start studying Judaism, because it says Torah scholars live and die in poverty, dude. So if you're not rich right now, you might as well start learning this stuff, because you're already halfway there, so to speak. You're already halfway there. Yeah. This one Jewish guy, I read his book, and he said that why would you be jealous of someone who's rich, or someone who's richer than you, or someone who's really rich? Because God could have given them that wealth only to like take it away later, to teach them a lesson, or to something like that. I don't quite remember the passage in his book, but maybe you get what I'm trying to say here. Yeah. You should hate sin, but not necessarily the God of judgment, or the aspect of God of judgment in this realm. When the Illuminati are constantly bullying and belittling and making fun of Christians, as you can see. And I don't really, I don't really talk about Muslims on this channel, because it's irrelevant to me. Anyone can look at that type of practice and see that it's extremely smart and intelligent, and the leader married a 6-year-old, and that's really amazing too. And so anyone who follows that is really amazing and stuff. Oh, I see a cat. There's a cat outside my car. I think I might knock and scare him. He doesn't even see me yet. He can't hear me. There, now he sees me. I'm waving at him. Wonder whose cat that is. Wonder if I can get him to come over here to my car and I can pet him. He's cute. He has white stomach, white legs, white arms, white chin, and then his top is brown and black spots. He's staring at me. Such a cute cat. Here's the thing about the Jesus thing. It's like this guy comes along, right? And then they're like, okay, it's actually everybody's worshiping the Father, right? Imagine everybody's worshiping God, okay? Then this guy comes along, and he's like, actually God's a Trinity, and I'm his son, and I'm also God, and I'm also the Father, and I'm also the Holy Spirit. And people are like, well, so should we keep worshiping God? And he's like, well, worship me, the Son, mostly, and worship maybe God a little bit. I say, well, what about the Holy Spirit? Do we worship the third part of the Trinity, the Holy Spirit? He says, no, you don't worship that part. Just need to worship mostly the Son, and then a little bit of the Father. And they say, oh, well, we were just worshiping the Father before, and now we have to worship this other thing more. Okay. Let's bow our heads and sing Kumbaya. Dear Lord Jesus, it's just strange. This cat is staring at me still. What is this cat doing? Should I knock at him some more? He's just staring at me. Maybe I'll take a video for you guys, or a picture. He was exploring, and then I got his attention, and now he's focused on me. Little old me, guys. Just little old me. And I have this cat's full attention. Are you kidding me? It's staring at me, not moving at all. It's kind of creepy for a cat. Yeah, I thought about getting a cat once, but pets are too much work, maybe, so I just don't have any pets. But I thought about it. Maybe I should get one. But I don't like poop everywhere. You know, cats are kind of dirty and stinky. They pee and poop everywhere. Same with dogs. Very dirty animals. You need a lot of attention and a lot of exercise. No, thank you. But, I like when you open a soda pop and you get to listen to it make a bunch of little noises. That's the best. And showers are really great too. I love showers. Bathtubs at hotels are nice. Only 7 hours to go. Oh God. 7 hours. I had this one coworker here who quit. He said, I feel bad for people who this is all the jobs this is all the work they do. Is this job would go by so slow if this was my only job. And I'm like, yeah, but this is my only job. In my head, I'm thinking that. And it does go by slow as hell. So he was right. He was right. This job does go by slow as heck. Seriously. And I'm only here for 16 hours a week. But when you think about it, there's only like 156 hours in a week. So that's still a sizable portion of the week to be somewhere. Think about it. If it was only 8 hours, I could do it way easier. But it's twice that. Double that amount. I should go kidnap this cat and take it for myself. I'm going to steal this person's cat. And I will rename them to the only cat name that everyone names their cat, which is Garfield the cat. Or Felix the cat. Or, what was that one band? Josie and the Pussycats. Christians like they read God's book, and then they say, you know what? This is unfinished. Where's part 2? Where's my sequel? Where's my Harry Potter 2: The Goblet of Fire? Where's my Harry Potter 2? The Deathly Hallows. And then a bunch of Greek boys, or maybe just Paul wrote the whole thing, but let's say a bunch of Greek boys come around and they write the New Testament. People say, finally, the sequel's out. You know, God, your first book you wrote was good, but it needed a sequel. It wasn't finished. It needed something else. This is what it needed. You know, when you wrote that first book, I just thought, I think I could write something better. I just think it's not quite done. It needs a little bit something. And then the New Testament comes out and they say, chef's kiss, here it is, finally. This is the sequel we've been waiting for. We needed part 2. Old Testament was only the first part. It was only part 1, of course. It was only halfway done. The other half was a bunch of Greek guys, and they wrote this one, and that's why this is finally the sequel's out. Harry Potter and the Prisoners of Azkaban is out. Now I can read it in English. It's written in Greek. God's first book was written in Hebrew, so that's interesting that the second book was Greek. Which God didn't even make the world in Greek. He made it in Hebrew letters. So that's actually interesting that he made his second book in Greek. That's really cool. So, yeah, I mean, that's just an argument I've heard, that the Old Testament was unfinished. Jesus came and now it's finished. God just wasn't sure what to write in the first book. He couldn't think of how to end it or how to start it. But finally, the second book is out, and now it's good. It's done. It's great. Yep, that's it. And people who read the Talmud, who don't speak Hebrew that it's written in, and they get angry about the verse about Jesus boiling in human excrement in hell. And what you don't understand is that there's a verse that says people who take these holy books literally, which the word for that is peshat, I think. Taking the word literally. You're not supposed to read these books literally. Do you think that Noah was actually swallowed up by a giant fish? And I mean, maybe, but that seems like it would be kind of hard to do, to get swallowed by a giant fish. I mean, maybe, but I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about that. Jesus made a bunch of water into wine. Maybe. Jesus made didn't he make a bunch of fish appear or something? I don't even remember some of the miracles he did, but these people who aren't qualified to read the Talmud, they read it and then they get angry because their Google Translator translates Hebrew into whatever the hell language they want. They speak, right? They don't care enough to learn God's language, so I'll use a Google Translator. Let's see what this book says here. Jesus burning in human excrement? What the heck? What's going on here? I'm mad about this. I better complain about this online. Do you see the nonsense in that? Thinking that God's book is unfinished, that it needs a second book, a second chapter. There's a verse in the Old Testament that says nothing should be added or taken away from this book. What did Christians do? They added to it. What did Mormons do? They added to it. What did all these other gay denominations, like, what's that big one called? Jehovah's Witnesses, right? Added to it. They just keep adding whatever the hell they want. Oh, add in more, add in this part, add in this, add in this, add in this. Let's keep adding stuff. It's like, man. Yeah, God was saying, look, this book is finished. Do not add to it. Christians come, adds to it. Mormons, ads. Jehovah's, ads. And I'm not talking about YouTube ads. I'm talking about... if you want your own religion, fine. But keep the Old Testament out of it. You can make your own book and you can have your own book. Mormons, you want your own book? Make it. Go ahead. But why mix it up with a holy book? Why mix it up with the holiest book? Why mix it up? Why mix it? And let's mix and match these books. Let's mix our book into this one. That'll show them. I like this book. I'm taking this. I'm going to mix this in with mine. Yeah. Let's mix this Greek book with this Hebrew book. Yes. Anyway, I mean, I don't even know how many of you guys care about this stuff. Most of you don't comment. So I don't know what the hell you're thinking about. I don't know what the heck you're thinking about. Barely anyone comments, which is fine. But I don't know what you guys are thinking if you don't comment. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. I'm ready to go home, basically. I want to go home. Work sucks. I mean, work is cringe and it takes forever, and hopefully I can build something cool, but I probably won't because I never do anything. But imagine if I actually did something this week or in the next day or 2 or 3, if I actually did something interesting. You know, I'm going to do something interesting. I called the doctor today, which I can't even see a doctor in my city because my doctor is in my mom's town, my mom's city. But I'm going to get a doctor's appointment. I haven't been to the doctor in a while. So I'm going to get a doctor appointment. And I tried to schedule it today, but I got fucked over. They hung up on me after an hour of waiting. So then I had to wait another hour. Fucking don't get mean. Dumb fucking bitch. Sorry, guys. No, I mean, it's I just get too grumpy about stuff, dude. It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. Man. Just don't like getting hung up on after waiting an hour, but I got plenty of hours, but then the place closed, so now I have to wait till tomorrow because she hung up on me and then the place closed after I waited 2 hours. So now I'm going to call the doctor again tomorrow, and actually I might wake up too late. Dang it, I got to try to wake up before they close. If they close at 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. So I have to try to wake up before that time and wait on hold again for who knows how fucking long, an hour, whatever it is, right? I try not to get hung up on. And yeah, so that's something interesting I'm going to try to do tomorrow. I'm going to try to get a doctor's appointment like I did today. Wish me luck, I guess. And that's something. I ordered a magnifying glass from China. It's $2, and it's going to be used to start fires with, like for survival stuff or whatever. So I wanted a magnifying glass. And what else? I think it's good to prepare and stuff, but I think God will take care of his children as well, and God will help us and bless us. We just pray to him and help each other and help ourselves, and don't freak out, you know. If crap hits the fan, hopefully depend on your community or your family or your friends or yourself or God, or, you know. I think God wants us to depend on him. I don't think he wants us completely self-sufficient. I think God wants us to pray to him and ask him for help, and ask him for blessings, and ask him for, I don't know, just to talk to him, basically. I think God made us so that we could worship him and talk to him and have a relationship with him. I don't think it's crazy to say that. But anyways, so don't be fearful at all about anything, but probably not a bad idea to prepare for stuff in the meantime, whatever that means to you. I mean, just food and water, really. It's the main things, I think. You know, I was thinking I would kill rats and squirrels and rabbits and eat those and stuff, you know, but I saw a dead rat at work 2 weeks ago, and it was pretty gross and disgusting. But I would have to eat that to get meat calories, because I don't know if I would do very good at gardening food. So I figured I would just be a lifelong carnivore and just get calories from meat and stuff, you know. But looking at a dead rat, it's pretty gross. I'm not I have to try to be brave and strong if I become a survivalist boy and I try to eat squirrels and rabbits and stuff. Maybe those are easier to look at than rats, you know. I don't know why, just rats look kind of creepy when they're dead, I guess, or when they're alive too. I'm just a bit squeamish. I'm kind of a thin little creature, you know, so I'm a sensitive boy, you know. I don't like seeing violence. I can't even watch MMA fights because they're too bloody. I can watch horror movies, but I can't watch MMA fights. I can't watch fighting. I don't want to watch boxing. It's way too bloody and disgusting. I just don't like seeing blood everywhere and people in pain and violence and stuff. It just really creeps me out. I don't know how people watch that stuff. I barely ate today. I had a big cup of yogurt with fruit in it, and that was my meal today. And it was good. It was really good. I've been having that lately, just a cup of yogurt with, and I put some frozen fruit in it, and it's good, but I feel like for some reason I'm not getting enough calories, or I just feel like starving all the time for some reason, like starved. Even if I eat food, right, I feel somehow malnourished. It doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any sense to me at all. Our bodies don't need food. We only need, like, God and sunlight and stuff. You know, we don't actually need all this gay food. There's, like, monks who don't barely eat, and they live to be, like, 250 years old, you know, or they just eat berries every day. I don't think we need as many calories as the government says we need. I think that's all gay propaganda. You know, the food pyramid is just gay-ass propaganda. It's like... Yes, I went on Twitter. Because I go on Twitter a lot, I think. And man, it's just like thread after thread after thread of the Italian woman who got beat up by a boy, pictures and stuff. In the Olympics, I mean. Just thread after thread after thread. One person posts it, next person posts it, next person posts it, everyone's posting the same exact thing. They're all posting this woman who got beat up by a boy at the Olympics. And you know who else is posting it? Elon Musk is posting it. So I'm a bit suspicious of these crooks. If Elon's posting it, a CIA plant who goes up to fake space, builds fake rockets, and does all this fake gay shit, who talks like he's a robotic AI, like a clone with an AI implanted in his brain. Hey, I'm Elon Musk. Yeah, so we went up to space, and I built the new electric Tesla mobile car. And yeah, I learned it in school. I studied at George Washington University, and I always wanted to go to space. That's my Elon Musk impersonation. It's just boring, monotone, robotic. Like if you put an AI clone into a robotic flesh costume, that's how it would sound coming out of his mouth. That's how he talks, man. A lot of these creatures are just like robots with AI built into them. They're not even real. They're not even really alive. I mean, just for example, the Mr. President boy and all of his multiple masks he wears, right? I mean, that could just be a robot with gay AI programmed into it. I mean, it doesn't act very... Anyways, and I'm suspicious of this whole stupid boxer thing. You have to remember the Olympics is one ritual just like the news. It's all fake. Rome is fake. Greece is fake. Every history book that you've ever read in a library is fake. The Constitution's fake. The Revolutionary War was fake. The Civil War was fake. Vietnam War, maybe that was real, but World War II, fake. World War I, fake. Everything you ever read was given to you by the government in a gay way, and it's all gay and fake. And I think this story is probably the same. I wouldn't be surprised if something happened that showed this was a fake. This female Italian boxer gets beat up by a boy in the Olympics. I tried to look at her body to see if she was a man. I tried to look for something, some hint that an angel was going to give me. Not that I deserve it. But they do give me a lot of hints, and they give you guys hints too. You just have to look at it from a neutral perspective on these fake gay news stories they push onto us, like Blandy Crooks, or Jollumdine, or 9/11, or any false flag you can come up with in your little brain. There's tons of hints in how sloppy and messy these fags are with their nonsense story. I mean, just look at the Trump gun thing last week, right? So many plot holes everywhere. Just a total mess of a fake little thing that happened, right? And it's the same with every story they push. And this story is being pushed. This female boxer getting beat up is being pushed. You might think it's just for demoralization. You might just think it's for destroying of values, destroying of people's brains, constant gaslighting. And that could simply be the reason. It could just be gaslighting, getting people as angry as possible, which they're doing quite well, because people see this story. And, look, it was that bitch's decision to fight a man, okay? She didn't have to. And, I mean, she quit after, like, 40 seconds of fighting. It's not like she was in there for 5 minutes. She could have just thrown her helmet on the ground when the match started. She didn't even have to participate. And everybody's like, well, she let this guy beat her up and he broke her nose and now she's retiring and she was an Olympic athlete. We can't let trans boys in women's sports and all this stuff, right? But it could have been worse, dude. If she was smart, she would have just given up at 0 seconds, not 40 seconds. So you can critique it like that, you know. You don't have to get angry about these normie goyim who decide to fight when they're a woman against a man for 45 seconds. That was their decision. They should have just given up at the first second, you know. It's just like when CIA plant Alex Jones, you know, when he went to court, he didn't bring up any evidence about Jandy Drooks that he supposedly went to court for, right? He didn't bring up any of the evidence about Jandy Drooks gunning. And he could have brought up anything. He could have said the guy who was laughing after his son died. They could have said how the school was demolished after the gunning happened, how it was built right before and then demolished right after, how you can't find any of the families or any of the youngsters or anything. And he made people feel bad, so he owes them billions of dollars. It makes absolutely no gay sense. The whole story's a complete plant, complete fake hoax, just like all these other stories that are pushed in this fake hoax media. We'd be better off Amish, because then at least we wouldn't be getting gaslit with hoax, fake stories 24/7 by a government that wants us all dead. Yeah. So maybe I'm thinking about getting off Twitter forever. Although it is quite addicting. I think that's why I keep going back on there. That's the problem with everything, right? It's addicting, but it's bad for you, and it's just garbage. Except for maybe like exercise is good for you. And exercise is probably kind of addicting, so... Dude, what are we supposed to do in this realm for our whole lives? Just exercise? Like, so boring and mundane here. I get we're just supposed to worship God. So, what else can you ask for, right? I don't know. Anyways. What I mean was, when I said Rome and Greece was fake, it's because it was gay and fake. Show me a source that proves that Caesar was alive and that Caesar did this and there were gladiators and Colosseums and all this stuff. Like, show me a diary from the year 500 BC where it says the year is 500 BC and it goes through his whole day. Show me the sources. All these history books, they got no sources. Their sources are fake. The Wikipedia article sources are fake and gay. Every single history book ever is gay and fake, and don't believe it. And our history that we can prove and that is reputable only goes back a few hundred years. It doesn't go back thousands of years to Greece. It doesn't go back millions of years to the dinosaurs, which were also fake and created in the 1800s. It doesn't go back billions of years to blah, 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 the gay fakes Big Bang or whatever. Anyway. When you think about it, it just sounds so silly and cringe and brainwashed. You hear people talking about history and they start getting happy and excited. They go, 5,000 years ago in Babylon, there were, 5,000 years ago in Babylon, and they had temple prostitutes who rid you of your sins by having sex with you? Did you know that 10,000 years ago, cavemen walked across a glacial plain from one continent to the next one, and that's how they got over this continent? And then they went into new caves here, and then they built society here? Do you know that a million years ago when dinosaurs were here, that T-Rex was the biggest of the dinosaurs ever? Yeah, he's actually my favorite dinosaur, and he eats tinier ones because he's the badass of all dino boys. You know that 6 billion years ago, the Earth was formed out of the Big Bang, and our moon was actually created because an asteroid hit Earth, and it actually bounced off the Earth and created a moon in our sky, which always faces us for some reason, which always follows the same exact orbit and pattern for some reason, which we've never seen the backside of it. And all this, isn't that cool that 1,000 years ago, the Greek Caesar was assassinated by a guy with a knife or some shit on the steps? I love learning about Roman history and the Greeks. And it's all real because, you weren't there. These people weren't there. They're fed this crap by history books, by the government. I don't even know if Caesar was real. I just know he's just something I put in my salad. I'm talking about Caesar salad dressing. Like you see these brainwashed cucks like what's his name, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he's like, space is beautiful, and then the audience is like smiling, and they're like, they're all envisioning what space looks like in their heads. They all saw the new Star Wars movie, so they know what space looks like. Picture the biggest planet you've ever seen. Now double it. That's the size of our sun that we're traveling around at 6 trillion miles an hour, spinning at 6 quadrillion trials an hour. And there's also debris and spaceships and aliens outside space. Oh, ooh. Somebody call the X-Files because I think I'm about to see a fucking alien dick. So, and then the audience is like all smiling. They're all thinking about the beautifulness of space. What if I was an astronaut? I could be in a zero-gravity plane that's like a mile above Earth's surface where the electromagnetic pressure, whatever, is smaller. So that's why they're able to jump around and stuff. I don't know, dude. Why? Oh, I wish I could jump around on the moon and play golf on the moon like they did in the moon landing video when they're driving a buggy around the moon, calling the president from the moon. I guess they had good cell service back then on the moon. Playing golf on the moon, playing with swords on the moon, which is where they put their dicks with each other. It's called playing swords. They're jumping up and down. Whoa, it's slow motion. It's so cool. Now picture Neil Gross. Now thank you for paying $85 to come to my show on space. Okay, I'll go to the next town and it's $80 a ticket again. Look it up to see Neil deGrasse Tyson for an hour. And I'll talk about space for $80 to a packed theater to people who love the idea of space and rocket ships and satellites. Hey, how come I never see a satellite moving across the sky when I look up? How come when satellites fall, they're always attached to giant balloons? How come rockets never go straight up? They always just curve at an insanely curved angle. They never go straight up into this so-called space. How come blah, 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 blah. These people eat it up. They slurp it up. I slurped it up. I slurped it up. Slip up the hot piss that I pissed into the jug. I slurped it up. I slurped it up. Slip up the hot piss that I pissed into my piss jug. That's from the Tim Heidecker album Hot Piss. It's actually a great album. The globe is not shaped like a sphere, it's more potato-shaped. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson. I eat Tyson chicken from the store. I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson. I watch the show Degrassi because I'm Neil deGrasse Tyson chicken. The earth is pear-shaped. It's shaped like a bra. It's shaped like my ex-wife's bra, who sometimes would take off her bra and do stuff to her fucking what's under the fucking bra. I mean, you guys want to know what really happened 400 years ago? You want to know what I think happened 400 years ago that I have historical sources on that I can prove? 400 years ago, humans were actually penguin creatures. And that's where you get the term wanderer. It sounds like waddler. Everyone waddled around with their penguin feet. Penguins ruled the earth from -9 million years until 200 years ago, when Dr. Greek Ghastly turned the world's population into monstrous creatures, which now we call animals. But before, everyone was just a penguin. This was 200 years ago. All these penguins, we had igloos we lived in, we did bomb sled races, we ate a lot of tasty fish. Now look where the world is. It's a bunch of bullshit. And I have sources. Read my Wikipedia article, read King Emperor Penguin's diary from 100 years ago where he talks about this. And watch the show. I forgot that Penguin's claymation show. Write in the comments if you remember. I don't remember the name. And yeah, everyone was actually a gay penguin 500 years ago, and we all sat on eggs together in the Arctic Circle. So yeah. I look at that country that was taken over by disgusting evil creatures, right, in the 40s. Porcine, or whatever it's called, Porcine. And I think I could see that happening here. I mean, those people, they live in squabble, like ruins. All the buildings are destroyed. They're living in, like, just a completely ruined city. You know, just rubble. Completely turned into rubble and trash everywhere and debris. Missiles flying over all the time from our greatest ally, who helped us a lot with the USS Lorberty 50 years ago, the ship that they sank on accident, you know. And I look at those Palestine videos and I'm thinking that could happen in America. You know. This country's already a melting pot of cum and farts. There's different cultures and different races everywhere you look. And when that means there's no sense of community here anymore, for the most part. You know, there's like no, everyone around you is different. And when race, space riots occur, people are going to see their own race, their own nationality, their own culture. It's going to be a war based on skin color and culture and things like that, you know. And maybe it would be like Mad Max with roving war gangs of African trespassers everywhere. Like Mad Max or like Current Africa. Not everywhere in Africa. I mean, probably not like, what's that nice African town? It's Ghana? I think Ghana seems like a nice town. I don't know, maybe Central Africa. Actually, I don't really know that much, but I'm not super up to date on African cities or anything like that. But you get the picture in your mind: the Mad Max, roving race war riots everywhere, total societal breakdown. Currently, if you look around, I think our society is in a huge decline because you see all these weird, creepy clowns everywhere. their genitals cut off in different colored hairstyles, giant ear piercings and nose piercings and tongue piercings and clit, tit, butt piercings, dick piercings, and they have giant earrings in their ears called plugs. They have tattoos all over their body. You know what? I had a dream last night. I think I was in school or something, and these two women in my class were making fun of my shoulder tattoos. Speaking of tattoos, I'm thinking, oh, crud, are they right? And then I woke up, and I'm like, wow, what a weird dream. And that was my dream last night. And, yeah. Dude, my first day of high school, this random senior girl, she called me a monster, I think, because I had long, messy hair. And, she was, yeah, she said something like that. She was not a fan of my hair. And I think she was a few grades older, so it was not a good start to the high school experience, you know. High school's cringe. There was a bully there as well. It's not a great time. It had some cool moments, though. I was in band, and band was a lot of fun. So band was really cool. I really liked band, I think. That was about it. That was the coolest part of high school. It was band stuff, I think. That's it. And, I slept in my classes a lot, but I still graduated. I still thought the work was easy, except for math. Math I flunked a few times. I had to retake some summer school math and stuff. And I've used math every day ever since. I've never used that faggot math a day in my life, because it's gay, and they forced you to learn it. I don't care about geometry, geography, geology, geometry, Geodude from Pokemon. I don't care about any of that shit. Personally, when I was going through the caves in Pokemon Red and Blue, I would get to, I don't even think I would get anything in the caves. I didn't like any of the cave Pokemon. I liked Raticate. Raticate was my main Pokemon in Pokemon Red and Blue and Yellow, and he was the strongest, best Pokemon. He was a giant rat creature, but he had Hyper Fang. So I thought he was pretty overpowered, and I could beat everyone with Raticate. Yeah. I get these annoying hiccups, man. And I think I started getting them around the age of like 27 or something. Somewhere around there, I think. 28, 27. I didn't really write down when it started happening. I guess I should have. I have to try to be more write down-y of things. More writey downy of things, so that I can write down more things that happen in my life, so I can keep track of things. Just for fun, of course. But I'll get these hiccups, and they're I haven't met anyone else who gets these things. It's just like it's kind of like a burp, but it's not really. It's kind of like a hiccup mixed with a burp or something. Write in the comments if you get stuff like that. It's just adding it to the list of random diseases I have, which no one else in the entire world and universe have. And that's one of them. It's like these hiccup things. And then there's some other ones probably, like the hard to wear shoes, the mind, uncomfortable brain, the vibrating bees in my chest, which I haven't gotten that one in a while. I get that from alcohol. I think. Yeah, well, I get it from nervousness too. Just random weird diseases you start getting as you get older that don't really have a name or whatever. It's just weird, dude. It's just weird. And oh, yeah, ready to go home. I got like an hour and a half left here to go before I can go home and try to get some sleep and try to repent, try to be a freaking holy based epic human being, try to be a good man who makes his daddy proud, And I was reading a little bit of Zohar this morning. I finished my Zohar book. It was just a summary book. It was only like 150 pages or something like that, or 200. It was only like 200 pages or something. And I started reading that months ago. I just read it here and there when I'm at work. I finally finished it. So now I need to get another Jewish book. Only problem is, they're all really damn expensive. There's Apples in the Orchard, expensive. There's a couple other ones. There's the original books of the Zohar, expensive. All the Jewish books are so expensive. Why are they so expensive? I don't think I can afford it right now. Because I'm thinking I'm going to go to Australia soon. And that's going to cost a lot of money. But, yeah, maybe I'll just buy a random Jewish book. But the good ones are the expensive one. The good ones are Apples in the Orchard, the original Zohar books, and I forgot the other ones. But those are some good ones right there. If you just type in... A lot of Jews go crazy from learning Lurianic Kabbalah. So if you just type in Lurianic Kabbalah on Google, you can find some very interesting books, I reckon, but dangerous, spicy books. You have to be careful with your brain if you read these powerful angelic books, magical books. You gotta be careful, because these are some strong books. And a lot of boys go crazy from reading Lurianic Kabbalah instead of Zohar, because it's too powerful. So a lot of Jewish people go insane with schizophrenia from reading this stuff because it's too powerful. So you gotta be careful. So, anyways, this is serious stuff. It's like you're not even supposed to teach people if you don't know this stuff very well yourself, and I don't know this stuff very well myself. So hopefully you don't consider me a big teacher here, because then I'd be in trouble with the angels. Because if you're teaching this stuff, which hopefully I'm not considered a teacher, I'm just speaking my mind about this stuff. I'm just curious. It's fascinating stuff, very fascinating stuff. For example, it says women are of judgment until they marry a man, because men are from mercy, and women are from Mars, and men are from Venus. Women are from judgment, and men are from mercy. So women are stuck in judgment mode until they marry a boy, and then when that happens, when they marry a man, then the white of men mixes with the red of women, and women become more merciful because the white overtakes the red. And I take that as merciful. They become, I don't know, maybe kinder or something. Whereas judgmenty, they're maybe a little bit, maybe grumpier. I'm not really sure how to interpret that. But that's what it says in the Zohar. Seriously. They're from the left column and men are from the right column. So we're on different columns. Very interesting stuff. The right column is white, our sperm, our bones. The left column is red, women's menstruation. Once a year, women get their pyramid. And a lot of sticky red goo comes out of them. Wait, did I get something wrong? Isn't it once a year women have their pyramid? That's a joke. That was a joke. Hopefully some of you caught on. Sometimes I go to these church events and I tell these jokes like that. And like the normie men and women who listen to my jokes, they don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. And they're like, it takes them like 5 or 10 seconds to realize like I'm a prankster, and they're getting literally pranked by my 350 IQ jokes. And their little road bump brains are like, wait, this guy is serious? No, he's joking. Wait, this guy is telling jokes? Is this guy a comedian or something? And then they start cracking up or smiling or whatever because they're like, oh, this guy likes to joke around. Like, I don't know. It takes them a while to figure out that I'm not like a super stone-faced, serious, zombie dead person, and that I actually like joking around. Seriously, it happens all the time. I mean, I don't interact with people very much. I haven't seen that Christian church group in months because they shut down or something. But I'm not even really a Christian anymore, I think. I'm more of like a Jewish person now, I think. But I'm still going to hang out with them, I think, if they ever get back together. They seem like some nice people. Like, they're like friends, but not really friends, you know? It's somewhere you can go and hang out with people. I know my sister says I should join a board game club. There's one by my house. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done that. I'm just like too shy and nervous to do that, maybe. They play Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff. I don't even know how to play Yu-Gi-Oh! I guess they could teach me maybe, but I just wouldn't even know where to begin. I would just feel too scared and frightened and nervous to walk in there and try to make new friends with board game boys or whatever, BGBs. Baby back barbecue bitch boy, baby back banger boy, beach boy, barbecue beer, drinking beer back, baby back, bear back, beer back, baby back, board game boys in the board game club. But, it's worth it. I mean, yeah. Let me know in the comments if you think I should join the board game club or something. There's one by my house. They have a store. They have a little shop. I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous about making friends or meeting people, or, you know what I mean? Walking in by yourself, like, hey guys, I'm new. Who wants to be my friend? I'm in my 30s. I don't have any friends here or in town. You know, it feels so scary to make new friends in your 30s or whatever, or to meet people or in your 30s or in your 20s or 10s or 5. Maybe, I don't know, maybe your entire life it's scary to make friends and meet people. I'm not some extroverted Giga Chad, whatever, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm introverted, except in the podcasts and videos and stuff. Then I like to get a little silly and fun. But for the most part, I'm just a lonesome boy in my room playing with my little toy. Just a little guy hanging out in my room. You guys know how it is. I gotta do one more patrol at least, I think. So maybe I should go do that before the normie hotel tenants wake up, which they start doing at this time. I don't like it.
Now it's time to have a snuggle with my very best friend in the whole wide world. You. Well, I'm glad you could come over. See you soon. Bye. and the clown jumped over the moon.